I'm Clint Wettstein. I am fifth, sixth generation farmer here in Wellman, Iowa. The operation's been in the family for forever and ever. I have a son and a daughter. They're both in high school, and I have my wife teaches elementary school in the next district east of us. My uncle's house here is kind of where the home place always was, and my dad's place is the next place south. My dad and my uncle have been farming together since the early 60s, and Dad partnered with me to help me take over the operation. Before the tornado, we were running about 110 mama cows. I had 172 cattle in my monoslope cattle barn, and we were feeding right around 10,000 hogs a year. Afternoon of the tornado, my uncle, who's semi-retired, he was out helping me and my son vaccinate pigs, and it was about 20 till 4 we got done. Me and the boy ran home to get cleaned up. Ed was kind of poking around in the nursery. His wife called him and said, "Hey, there's a tornado coming. Get to the house." He didn't quite make it all the way down the stairs before the house started falling in on him. He come out all right, didn't get hurt. All of my family was at home, and my kids had some friends over outside on the porch, and we saw it coming. So we made it all to the basement. There was 8 of us, counting my 2 kids and my granddaughter, and 2 dogs in the basement bathroom, and everybody says it sounds like a freight train. Well, it really didn't. It was loud. It just sounded like loud wind. Then we heard kind of a crack, and then it just sounded like somebody was dumping pop cans on the ceiling. Just bang, clatter, 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 and we didn't know the house was gone until we got up off the floor and opened the bathroom door and saw that the hallway was full of debris. And we were kind of stuck in the basement for a while. We didn't realize the walkout was covered by the east wall of the house. When you're in that moment, you just don't know what to think. I called my buddy, who's the fire chief, and I said, "Hey, we're stuck in our house." And he said, "We're dropping everything, we're on our way." Kind of looked around a little bit and realized that the basement window was not covered. So hoisted my son out, and by the time everybody else was ready to get out of the basement, the fire department was there and pulled us out. You know, I realized, wow, I'm homeless. Of course, at the time, you know, the house was flat. And by that time, Mom and Dad had called and said Ed's house was down and the farm was a mess, and they came in and got us. And I wanted to get out here to the farm. And we kind of saw what we see now. You know, there's no building standing here. There's dead livestock everywhere. At least 13 head of fat cattle, 14 head of mama cows. We were supposed to start calving Saturday the 1st, but we had, I don't know, half a dozen calves out here. We only had one of those calves survive. The guys running around putting down wounded livestock. And Saturday morning, the vet was out. You know, met him at the gate, and he had a 9mm in his hand because he was putting down wounded stuff. 3 minutes of tornado, and we're out 2 farmsteads out of 3, and pretty life-changing. Fortunately, you know, the community came together, found a home for putting everything. So Saturday was, you know, rescue mode, move the survivors. Sunday was pickup. We picked up a bunch of stuff at our house. Friends and neighbors and people we didn't know, you know, helping. The local FFA chapter was out. Volunteers with side-by-sides and trailers, and they scoured the fields just picking up stuff. Ran into a neighbor that said, "Hey, I got a house for you, so at least got a roof over my head now." See what insurance does for us. We got you guys out here with Farm Rescue because some of our equipment was damaged, our chore tractor and our big front wheel assist. That was my tillage tractor and what I pulled my drill that I plant beans with, so got the Farm Rescue guys in to help us do that, and boy, that's kind of a lifesaver. At least we'll get a crop in and get a little normal going on, you know. I've been a Wiffles seed rep for, I think, going on 13 years. I first heard about Farm Rescue, maybe last year when I went to a Wiffles meeting and Farm Rescue put on a presentation. And, you know, you watch something like that at a meeting and you just never think that you're going to be the recipient of their generosity. So, pretty humbling. My sister from La Crosse, Wisconsin has been involved with farm rescue for some time now, and she called and she says, has anybody reached out to you? And I'm like, well, no. Well, I'm going to make some phone calls and they're going to call you. Okay, that's fine. So I received a call from Ben, and I kind of explained, what had happened, and he says, well, we can bring a tractor down and we can do your tillage. And the next thing he says is, we'll come down and plant your beans too. I'm like, wow, that would be amazing. So then he came out in person. We filled out the application, and we're kind of where we are now. I got the guys out with a big John Deere tractor running on our ground, and pretty amazing that just in a matter of less than a week that somebody shows up and starts putting action into work. It's pretty great. So hopefully they'll have very little tillage to do tomorrow, and they brought down a brand new planter. As soon as they get those acres knocked out, we're going to hook that planter up and start planting some beans. You hear about them, and like I say, you just never expect to need them at your place, and when you do, it's really amazing how fast the wheels get turning and people show up to help. So it can make or break a year for a guy, getting that crop in or getting it out. And you only got a limited window in either end, and to get help to get it done is pretty impressive. So really, really appreciate it. Neighbors can step up, but if their operation's got to keep going too. So it's just great that there's an outfit out there that, their sole purpose is to look out for people, just get the acres knocked out and taken care of, and you can focus on a few more important things. It's pretty outstanding. I guess we're starting with a empty slate, so we'll try and build back as efficiently as we can. And I don't want to do anything other than farm, so we got our roots here. We're going to try and rebuild the tree.